And good morning, everyone. I'm CBS 19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony with meteorologist Chandler Jordan here at the CBS 19 Weather Center, bringing you this Facebook Live update. We're also streaming live on our CBS19.tv live stream and also on our YouTube channel. Currently, we have a tornado watch until 5 o'clock for all or most of East Texas, except for our extreme deep East Texas counties of Shelby, Nacogdoches, Angelina, San Augustine, and Sabine. Otherwise, if I did not mention your county, you are under a tornado watch until 5 o'clock, and you can see that up here on the screen. I'm going to try to read the feed as it comes by with any questions. If you have any questions about timing as to when the storms will get here, we'll certainly try to answer that. But right now, certainly a day where we have the volatility in the atmosphere where we could see very strong thunderstorms developing anywhere in this yellow boxed area. And when you have a tornado watch, it means that the conditions are favorable or possible to see tornadoes in and around the watch area. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily happen in the watch area. For instance, a couple weeks ago, we had a tornado warning that was in San Augustine and Sabine County, and they were never in the tornado watch. So this just means that we have to watch any one of these counties within East Texas for the possibility of a tornado warning. I think later on today, we will see our deep East Texas counties added to that tornado watch. All right, already today, in the last 24 hours, there was a tornado reported out in Grapevine. And this was, it hit a Sam's Club out there. I saw some pictures of damage. That tornado crossed West State Highway 114 near the hospital west-northwest of Grapevine. And that time was estimated by radar, but that was earlier this morning with tornado warnings in Tarrant County, in Wise County out to the west, Palo Pinto County, and these have now moved up to the northeast. And currently, there are tornado warnings going on for Fannin County and also Lamar County. That's the city of Paris. They're just outside of that. Some weak circulations here, but strong enough to create a tornado warning. As meteorologist Chandler Jordan zooms in on this area, it looks like these cells have moved east of our Titan indicator, which we will show you where the strongest wind circulations were at this time. But that would be near Honey Grove, near Bagby, and maybe appropriately toward Hale, just to the west-northwest of Ben Franklin. Those are moving to the northeast. So they're not moving toward Charleston, not moving toward Cooper, certainly not moving into any of our East Texas counties. These will stay out to the northwest, but Paris, downstream, they would be closer to Paris in some time. All right, thanks for all who are joining in. Looks like we've got Ashley Sorrell and Peggy Davis wants to know that if this includes Rains County. The tornado warning does not include Rains County, but the tornado watch does. Jeremy says, I'm in Bossier City. Am I good? For the time being, yes. But pay attention as we head later into the afternoon. Bossier City may go under some sort of watch and or warning. All right, I'll move on here from here, and we'll go to the velocity signature we were looking at, and maybe right around here is where we're seeing this weak circulation with one of those storms and over toward Honey Grove. And again, that's it. But these tornado warnings go until 10:45 for Fannin County and also 10:45 for Lamar County as that storm moves north and east. Let's go back here to the look outside from our Tyler camera. We've got cloudy skies currently. Some very low bases to these clouds. That could be concerning for a day like today. It would not take much for the base of that cloud to suddenly, if it started turning or spinning, you get a little wall cloud to drop out of that, and then they'd be touching the ground. So if they're scrubbing the ground like this right now, you can bet that this is a really heavy, moisture-laden atmosphere. It's just waiting for something to sort of spin it up or get something going. Right now, we just don't have that necessary lift nearby. It's out to the west. It's not far away, and it will soon occur. All right, here are the severe weather ingredients. And coming together here, these are winds at about 16 to 20,000 feet off the surface, and this is forecast here over the next half hour. At the same time, we have east-southeast winds underneath these winds aloft. So you can see that would just create a natural turning or twisting in the atmosphere. Very humid air in green. Dry, colder air out to the west, the clash of the air masses, the strong winds aloft, the deep low pressure system in western parts of Kansas and Nebraska. That really signifies if this was a spring-like setup, it might be a margin or a moderate or a high risk day, but bad enough as an enhanced risk day for us with a tornado threat that is elevated right now. In fact, that elevated tornado risk comes with a hatched area where we could see very strong tornadoes in the order of EF2 or higher, meaning we could have wind speeds 113 to 157 mile an hour if we had a tornado in this area. But it also means that there could be numerous severe weather warnings in that hatched area, and some of those could contain some very strong winds. Storm Prediction Center, in fact, has placed a portion of Deep East Texas in an enhanced area for wind, talking about 70 to 80 mile an hour straight line wind gusts. So very powerful storm system. And you can see it's just kind of getting going here. And a couple more cells have popped up northwest of Tyler. These are non-severe cells right now. We'll continue to watch those. As the front moves to the east, we expect some re-energizing of the cells down here in Deep East Texas. You can see some of the breaks in the clouds. There's going to be more energy south and east of Tyler for showers and thunderstorms to rapidly develop as we head into the afternoon, and some of those could be the strongest. The line of thunderstorms that's coming through, and looks like it's sharpening up a little bit, there could be some very strong wind gusts along the leading edge of that line. All right, so let's see what's going on here. We have a new warning coming in. Let me see what that is. That's the new severe thunderstorm warning for Rains County and Hopkins County. So we just had the question about Rains County. So Rains County, you have a severe thunderstorm warning. Philip wants to know, he's in Kilgore. Is he safe? For the time being, yes, but you have until 5 o'clock with the tornado watch in effect. Dwayne from Tyler. Hi, Dwayne. Jeremy's praying for everyone. Lucero is in Athens and wants to know about Athens. Athens, Texas right now. You can see Athens is going to be south of Canton. But this is the new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued. There's Emory and Rains County, and then Sulphur Springs and Hopkins County. That goes until 11:30. So that's our first, what we call severe thunderstorm warning, at least for East Texas, as these storms start moving to the east now. All right, let me just going through everything here, and okay, just checking out some emails and seeing if we have any pictures or anything from anything that happened out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area earlier. So these cells moving to the east, I think probably pretty quickly.
Yeah, about 55 miles per hour out to the east. So that'll include the communities of Cooper and Tira once we get closer till quarter till 7, 10:53 in Sulphur Springs. We're also talking about the possibility of impacts being felt in Como by 10:59, into Picton by 11:05, into Winnsboro by 11:15, and Leesburg by 11:27 this morning. And that's going to be for this severe thunderstorm warning that we've seen issued for East Texas, or for Hopkins and Rains counties, until 11:30 this morning.
All right, so let's take this radar and kind of move it down here a little bit. We have Mineola right now with a non-severe cell to the northwest of Mineola. A couple of lightning strikes there back toward Canton, down toward Athens. We just had a question about Athens. Right now, Athens is quiet, but this strengthening cell here to the southwest is moving up to the northeast toward Athens. Maybe a little bit of hail trying to develop here between Fairfield and Athens as that moves to the northeast. That's going to be west of Elmwood and west of Berryville. And again, within that spot that we have with that tornado watch in effect. All right, looking at some other questions here. Dawn says she's in White House. Thanks for the info. You are welcome. That's what we're here for. Holly Lake Ranch. Holly Lake Ranch is under the tornado watch right now. I would expect showers and thunderstorms to move closer to Holly Lake Ranch. Well, right now it looks like just off to the northwest of Tyler near Holly Lake Ranch, we have some non-severe showers coming down. I don't see any lightning bolts within that, so we're okay for the time being. Again, I think this line out to the west of these are prefrontal showers. There'll be a line of showers and thunderstorms along the cold front as it moves through, and then later today we'll watch the showers and thunderstorms advance in out of Deep East Texas. All right, I'm going to advance forward here and kind of go through the maps and then run through future Skycasts. But again, you just have to bear with me while we go through some of the graphics that we had set up earlier. That's the setup for today, and we'll show you the threats. Again, the threat is enhanced for tornadoes later today. Now from Tyler to the southeast, that's an expansion back to the northwest a little bit. And on our satellite and radar picture, you can see all this moisture streaming in from the southwest. So what that gets us to is essentially this. This is Future Skycast. We're starting this at the current time. and you'll notice these showers and thunderstorms strengthen as they come to the east. That's the explosion of those other cells over deep East Texas as they move up from the northeast, and then we have showers tomorrow that will be non-severe. So really, again, we have this initial line that comes through 10 to noon from Tyler to the north, and then we see those additional cells sort of blow up from the southwest and move back to the northeast. Chandler, if there's a way, maybe you take that out of play and just kind of walk us through real slowly on this, and so we can kind of get a better timeline instead of it going by so fast. All right, so just kind of slowly, so there you go. Mineola, Tyler, see this cell here. That may be something that we have to watch. Any cell that gets out ahead of the line could start to turn. Then we have the showers and thunderstorms, the leading edge. Any gusty winds here toward Gilmer. We'll go forward a little bit more in time. Those will move away, but then this is where we start to see these showers and thunderstorms over deep East Texas about 1:30 in the afternoon, and watch as these move to the northeast. Any one of these, they're moving into an environment where we could see some turning. There's the cold front. When the cold front can undercut these cells, it could weaken these. So as we go just a little slower in time, and I'm just basically doing some analysis as Chandler's running the radar to the north. Now, they might interact with the cold front, become very strong with some very damaging gusty winds toward Carthage, down towards center, eastern Nacogdoches County between about 4:30 and 5 o'clock. So let's back that up again, and we'll try to get maybe just if you're watching and you had any questions as to timing here, so maybe this will help you just a little bit. All right, so let me go through this.
What, Brett? We might have some 12Z data available to use for future Skycasts.
Oh yeah, okay, so that would be the latest, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go into this really quickly and
do
that.
So we're going to update this and get you the latest data on this. This was some overnight data that came in. We're just getting some morning data off of this. So it might just give us a little more of a pinpoint time. If you're watching last night at 10 o'clock, I said we'd be able to pinpoint the times down a little bit better today, fine-tune the times when these showers and thunderstorms would be arriving. So those showers and thunderstorms probably a little bit farther to the east because we've seen a few by Emory already. So that initial line there, Emory, Sulphur Springs up to Mount Pleasant, this is through noon. A couple of cells begin to develop down to our southeast toward Jacksonville and Henderson. So even as early as 12:30, if you live in Henderson, Marshall, Tyler, by 1 o'clock, there might be either a severe thunderstorm warning or perhaps a tornado warning in this area. So I want you to have your plan ready by noon today. It's only about an hour from now. Have your plan as to where you're going. If you live in a manufactured or mobile home and you know where you're going to go, because we're under the tornado watch, I would already go to that shelter and stay to that shelter until 5 o'clock. Don't wait for the warning to be issued, but that's about 1 o'clock this afternoon. And again, just looking at some of this high resolution data, and it's predicting some of these cells. For instance, look at that cell down at Groveton. Those are the types of cells that as they move into an environment that is warmer, where it's 75 degrees and the air mass is a little more buoyant, these are the types of cells that can start to spin. So Lufkin about 2:30, Crockett 2:40. There might even be an additional cell behind that at 3 o'clock. I mean, this could be the kind of day where you have two separate tornado warnings in your county, not just one. So it's not the kind of day where we say, okay, you're in the clear and you're done for the rest of the day. There could be a time where we give you a tornado warning, we talk about it, it passes, and then a half hour, hour later, you have another cell moving through. But look how much it cools Henderson down to 54 degrees. So that's rain-cooled air. That's heavy rainfall. There may be a little bit of hail in there. Strong gusty winds, and that's why we talked about the strong gusty wind potential being anywhere from about 70 to 80 miles an hour. You could have some downburst winds that could exceed 80 miles an hour. By 5:45, now things are starting to wind down a little bit. We may still have a couple of ongoing warnings down toward Nacogdoches, over toward Carthage, and over toward Center. But it looks like we just get it maybe into a flash flood event with some of the training showers and thunderstorms over the same areas, and finally everything gone by 10 o'clock. So it looks like it's going to be a really busy day. Yeah, it does. And, we'll continue to keep an eye out on things, and with the latest looks in the Shreveport office and the Dallas-Fort Worth office, it just looks like we've got the one severe thunderstorm warning in Rains and Hopkins counties for now. All right, a couple of questions here. Angela wants to know about Emory and Alba. We expect the showers and thunderstorms here to be moving through Emory and Alba within the next hour to hour and a half. Question about Marshall. Obviously, Marshall's going to be later this afternoon, probably 4 or 5 o'clock. For Longview, it's likely going to be about 2 to 3 o'clock. Tasha wants to know about Pittsburgh. So let's back the we'll go walk through this very slowly again, and I'll start off talking about Pittsburgh and Kilgore and Tyler. So we'll walk this through here. Right now, 10:46. We do have some showers and thunderstorms in the Alba Emory area. Toward Lake Fork, if you know anybody on Lake Fork, they're probably going to end their fishing day pretty early here. All right, so that's 12:30. Mineola, Mount Pleasant, up to Pittsburgh. I'd say Pittsburgh's just outside of those showers and thunderstorms at about 12:30, but a close call. Plan on them. I'd say we maybe have a margin of error here for about a half hour. Longview, you can see some of the stronger storms coming through about 1:30, and then Marshall about the same time, 1:30 to 2 o'clock. Hallsville, Kelly wants to know Hallsville probably about 1:30 to 2 o'clock. Or City, looks like it's going to be, I'd say 1:30 to 2 o'clock also. What about Conroe? That's going to be much later on tonight. Probably we'd have to widen our map out to find Conroe, but I would imagine that if there's anything severe closer to Conroe, it's going to be much later this afternoon. Gilmer. Let's see, we have Heather wants to know about Gilmer. Gilmer, you can see, right? Gilmer is getting 145. There's a cell about 1:30. So I think it's safe to say 1:30 to about 2 o'clock Gilmer with some heavy thunderstorms at that time. And we have answered the Marshall question, Pittsburgh, Longview. I think most of us that we've had the questions about are essentially 1:30 to about 2 o'clock. So I think that's one of those situations where you have to just kind of be in place and have your shelter ready. If you needed to run out and do an errand now in any of those cities, I would do it quickly and get back. Nacogdoches, Penny wants to know about Nacogdoches. That's an area where you can see you're in heavy thunderstorms by 3 o'clock. Certainly, I would say by 2 o'clock, you're starting to get into a heavy cell that could be worn down in Nacogdoches County. And then another heavier thunderstorm. I mean, again, Nacogdoches is one of those areas where we could see 2 separate warnings, perhaps one early afternoon and another one later in the afternoon. Sorry, just taking a drink so I can. It's going to be a long day. We're pretty sure of that. All right, Frankston, Coffee City area. And what about Alto? All right, so Frankston, Coffee City area here, there's going to be probably there are ongoing showers and storms coming through right now. There might be a stronger storm about 1 o'clock, and then down toward Alto, that cell there is about 2 to 2:30. So Alto, 2 to 2:30, Coffee City, Frankston area, about 1 o'clock. Again, if I had to pick a large window, I would say anywhere from about 12:30 to 4 o'clock area wide, with later afternoon arrivals for both into deep East Texas and then back to the Northwest, clearing off just a little bit. You are welcome. So for Henderson, should I get my child from school early? This makes me anxious. I don't know that I can recommend that, but I don't know what time they get out of school. If you feel more comfortable doing that, then I would certainly say that whatever makes you more comfortable in this scenario, in the situation for today. We do have a tornado watch in effect until 5 o'clock for all of those areas that we were talking about. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to wrap up this coverage. Let's go back and just kind of give you an overview here. We have the tornado watch in effect until 5 o'clock. It does not include any of our deep East Texas counties or extreme deep East Texas counties. I think Panola, southern parts of Rusk County, Cherokee County, Houston and Trinity counties are under that watch till 5 o'clock. And we'll go back to radar one more time, show you the current radar status here. And those were some warnings that we had earlier in the DFW. So far, no warnings with any severe thunderstorms that have moved out toward Emory. We do have currently this tornado warning going on until 10:45 in Fannin and Lamar County. And then we have these showers and thunderstorms. This one toward Mineola now with lightning and thunder developing. And then just some scattered prefrontal showers all the way over into Henderson, up toward Shreveport. These are not severe. We'll wait early this afternoon for showers and thunderstorms to become stronger and develop. And then those showers and thunderstorms out to the northwest will continue to stay to the northwest of Tyler. All right, we're going to end the feed for right now. Please continue to post your questions. We'll try to answer those. Look for more updates on CBS19.tv, our Facebook page, and our YouTube page. Thanks for watching this special coverage of our severe weather day here at CBS 19.